This is just the beginning of phase 2. There'll be 3 or 4 or 5 phases. But, you've got to get your money into gold and silver, coins, bullion, and shares. For those of you who want leverage, the shares are so it's unbelievable. They should be selling at 150 times earnings. They're selling at 20 to 30 times earnings. Whatever trade is going on is going to be terminated, and they're going to have to cover their shorts. I have a small company out there that I follow. It's broke out to a new high because the shorts are having to cover. That's why.
Now, this is important with the 10th anniversary of 9/11 coming. For those of us that have been trying to sound the alarm for our brothers and sisters, to wake them up to the fact that we do have a criminal government. There are issues that need to be addressed, that needed to be addressed long time before now, a decade ago, a decade before that. For people that still don't understand how criminal this system is, Bob, I need to point out page 11 from the latest International Forecaster, in which we talk about the SEC. And you write, quote, "The SEC has violated federal law by destroying the records of thousands of enforcement cases in which it decided not to file charges against or conduct full-blown investigations of Wall Street firms and others initially suspected of wrongdoing." Bob, this just paints the full picture for people. Now, if people wondered why, if people ever questioned us for questioning 9/11, they need only look at this type of information. They need only look at the fact that the media chooses to ignore Ron Paul, chooses to peddle the establishment line, and I think this SEC story that you're writing about is just about the most important thing in this latest edition of the Forecaster.
Well, there are a number of companies, thousands of them, who have complained about naked shorting and other violations. And there's one company in particular that the SEC's had the case for 2 months at the very highest levels. And they're jerking around because all they have to do is go to the traders who have been hitting the bids on the close every day and say, who is the owner of this trade? Who's the beneficial owner of the trade? That's all they have to do. And they'll see a pattern of hedge funds funneling the orders through different wholesalers. It's as easy as that to locate. And they're not doing it. They're not doing it because of the protection mechanism that they've set up for the larger firms' trading departments who work in league with the hedge funds, who all work in league with the United States government. Mm-hmm. They don't want gold and silver shares up. They don't want gold and silver up. They don't want commodities up. Mm-hmm. They want strong bond market and strong stock market. And we're supposed to have free markets. We don't.
No, we don't. And this is exactly why the CFTC is basically neutered. The CFTC is never going to enforce position limits in gold and silver. I mean, it's all a lot of talk, but that's the beautiful thing about the physical silver and gold that we've been talking about for so long, Bob, is that the common man has the ability to assert his own liberty. The common man has the ability to jump in there and buy because it's artificially cheap, because of the criminality. And that's the punchline. That's the beautiful thing about this criminality, is that it's their Achilles heel. Once you know the truth about physical gold and silver, you can jump in and get an asset that's way undervalued because of their manipulation.
And boy, that is a mouthful, because it's been going on now for 11 years, actually longer, but in a bigger way for 11 years. I've been fighting this battle since 1959. But you're absolutely right. And somebody can go down to the corner store where they sell gold and silver items and have $100 and buy some dimes, quarters, and halves pre-1965. So you can all participate, even if you have a small amount of money. And I advise you, too, to put in dehydrated and freeze-dried foods and have a water filter and be able to defend your family. Those are the first lines of defense.
Absolutely. Hey, and I just want to weigh in, too, and say that the last time we spoke, we had a conversation about arming yourself, having an AR-15, some clips, be ready to go. I got a little excited about that because I was looking for solutions other than getting into a ground war with the powers that be. I know that's not where you were coming from. I just want to make it real clear for my audience that I own firearms. I'm trained. I've got a Glock 9mm. I go to the range frequently. That was not an anti-gun statement on my part, so I just want to clear that up for my audience. I'm pro-gun. I'm pro-liberty. Absolutely. I know you are, too. Hey, before I let you go, I want to talk about NATO's war in Tripoli against Libya. I think what's going on over there is absolutely outrageous, and it's being done with the full 100% backing of the United States government, Bob. What is your position on what we're seeing happen in Tripoli? I think it's war crimes. I think we're seeing absolute atrocities take place.
And you're absolutely right. And it's just reversed. The whole plan was laid out by MI6 and CIA. The man that's running the operation has worked for the Central Intelligence Agency for more than 20 years. He lived for the last 20 years in Virginia. He's an ex-Libyan. And he's the one who's leading their forces there. And the forces are made up of Taliban and Al-Qaeda. I mean, this is a total homicidal effort on the part of NATO. It's an absolute disgrace. You know something? They're all going to pay for it because we have long memories. And they're going to lose this battle, not in Libya perhaps, but the financial and economic battle we're into. And we're going to legally be able to go after these people, whether they're in London or Libya or San Francisco.
Yeah, and for anybody that doesn't think that NATO and the powers that be that have arranged this whole thing, anybody doesn't think that they're a criminal bunch and that this whole thing isn't, world-class war crimes, criminality, keep an eye on the Libyan gold, because I bet you $1,000 that the Libyan gold, after Gaddafi's gone, will mysteriously never get back to the Libyan people.
And $100 billion, 60% of which is in Europe and 40% which is in the United States, purportedly been frozen, has been stolen. It's gone. These people are arch criminals.
Bob, I think this is a great way to end the interview. Ken Ivory, a Republican representative from Utah, was on King World News over the weekend, and really an extraordinarily intelligent man. He did an extraordinary interview. As you know, Utah has introduced legislation to allow gold and silver to be used in transactions in the future, free of capital gains and free of state taxes. It is the move of liberty that we need to see as states assert their authority. What's your take on what's happening in Utah and the 11 or 12 other states that want to follow suit?
It's great, and you've got to start working politically at the very lowest level, all the way up the trail, so to speak. I did a program just about that and some other things on Friday with Alex Jones, and we did approach the candidacy of Mr. Perry and pointed out some things that we felt were very unsavory that people going to the White House shouldn't have.
Right.
And their background. And with that said, you've got to start at the bottom. And if you start at the bottom, you're going to win at the top.
Yep, and people can assert their power. And, Bob, that's, the story of liberty, the story of taking this country back begins at the state level. Our hats off to Ken Ivory, because it's honest politicians, it's honest representatives like Ken Ivory and Ron Paul, and the explosion that we're seeing of support for Ron Paul as he wins all of these straw polls. This is the happy story. This is the positive story, and this is how we take our country back. So hats off to all the patriots, and hats off to you, Bob. So thanks for spending some time with us again today.
Well, thank you very much, and I'll see you again soon.
Okay, and hey, real quickly, give us a phone number and how folks get the Forecaster.
TheInternationalForecaster.com, TheInternational, FORECASTER.com, or you can call 877-479-8178. That's 877-479-8178.
Hey, Bob, thanks so much. We really appreciate your time. I love all you guys out there, and Bob, we love you. So thanks so much, and we'll talk to you again on September.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. We'll talk to you again on September 9th.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.